play like they God. What are they doing? They're smashing made up machines so they can smash atoms together to make what? Antimatter.
Yes.
Now, if you take a little smidge, just a drop of antimatter, that can destroy the whole earth. So they're trying to play God once again. This has always been the problem with mankind. Always trying to play something that
Bigger than
he
himself.
has no power, no idea what he's playing with. But
Right.
that was the fallen angels' plan all along. That's why the Most High broke up, those Babylonians into different languages,
Mm-hmm.
because we try to play him all the time, and in science you always, you know, try to come up with evidence and proof. There's no faith involved whatsoever. It's just evidence and proof. And if you can't show that, then you don't believe in it.
It's 11
See, that's a
o'clock.
this disclaimer of the Most High right there. We can't see him, but yet he's all around us because he is matter. He is Adam. That's why he called the first man Adam, because you know what I'm saying? The whole atmosphere is made of what? Atoms. He's all around us. So, that's my 2 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But then too,
But go ahead. We can't hear you, you King. You're on mute. There you go.
right.
Right. Then you got to be careful too to remember that he basically, well, how we
uh,
make statements about like things like kismet and stuff like that. We got to be careful not to mix in this
Egyptology.
this religious thing in with who Yah is, because then you wind up with something that's bastardized or in a basically how do you say it in what do you call it in the book of Galatians? Said if I or an angel from the heavens speak any other thing, that let us be accursed.
Yes.
And that's how we have to we have to rightly divide the word and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's what we have to be careful of, even with man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these, brothers, quote unquote, learn, been in the scriptures 30, 40 years, like Ben Ami and Hulam Mitchell, you know what I'm saying, Jim Jones, you know what I'm saying, all these characters, David Koresh, all these imams over there, in Islam, you know what I'm saying, we got to be careful, because they will sin themselves, exalt themselves as if they are the Most High. They will, self-exalt themselves to be gods, basically. And that's what, man has a very bad track record of doing, praising more man. Why you think Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Marcus Garvey and Jesse Jackson always came up short, being the savior of black people? Because if they would have been successful, we would have gave all the credit to who? Man.
And J. Edgar Hoover said that was the one fear that he had, that they would have the Black Messiah.
Right. So they know that if if we come together, there's no stopping us. That's why they have put so many mechanisms in play to keep us separate.
See, that's why.
Just like the Crips and Bloods. The Crips and Bloods, okay, walk with me on this. The Crips and Bloods, how did they come about? How did they get started? That's a question.
how they got started. By two
Yes, how
different,
did
two friends, they was one gang at first. But, and actually, uh, the gangs were actually, informants. Uh,
but what was the necessity? Why did they form in the first place?
Nobody stepped on
Be-
nobody's shoe, scuffed somebody's
because
shoe.
for a simple fact, they were protecting their communities from the
oh,
police department,
Mm.
the corrupt police. So if you never had, guess what, corrupt police officers who were jacking up black folks, beating them up, you know what I'm saying, doing all type of atrocities to them, we wouldn't even have Bloods and Crips today. So
You know what?
out of the racism and hatred and wickedness was formed more wickedness. You see what I'm going? Because the Crips and Bloods started off as one good thing, but they metamorphed more into wickedness, evilness, shooting, killing each other, killing innocent people. You see how the ball keeps on going?
How about this? How about, and this is coming from somebody who's worn the badge. How about we say this? I would say that the police department is performing exactly like it's supposed to. I would say that it's doing exactly like it was designed to do here in the United States of America. The slave patrols, their job was to keep those Africans under control and to retrieve them, keep them in line,
Right.
kill them if necessary in order to keep the order, keep the peace. The peace they were keeping was the peace of the industrial structure of the white man, of the people here who had an investment in keeping these black bodies under control. Because for every one white man you had 600 to 700 black men who were in bondage. So you had to keep them under control. You had to keep them in a space of fear, and you had to keep somebody who kept the thin blue line to make sure that nobody got out of line. So I would argue, knowing that history, the police department is acting just like it's supposed to.
Same thing with the
It
Romans.
has not changed. The mission is the same.
Yeah, same thing with the Romans. Because all they did was collect the money and y'all hush up, y'all keep the peace. That's basically what it was. And the apostles, the Hebrews, they really hated them, tax collectors, but Joshua, a tax collector, walked among him. He was a part of the disciples, but they hated these guys, it's still a problem today. IRS.
They did the census. Same thing as the United States.
Yep.
They did a census every 4 years.
It bring to mind too. I think that's Luke 21, when you was talking about the Muslims. They'll kill people thinking they doing the Most High service.
Right.
Yeah, I had to put that one in there too.
Let me ask y'all a question. This is on a different subject. Honor killings. Is that something that we should still be honoring?
I don't think so.
What's the question again?
Honor killings.
Honor and killing?
Honor killings. Okay. It's still practiced in India today.
It's practiced in Egypt and certain countries.
Yeah.
I think about authority figures, yeah. I mean, to protect yourself too.
Go ahead, James, please, man. I'm away.
I mean, yeah, to protect yourself. I mean, if you're protecting yourself, and then like to authority figures, I mean, I think about this was a law given to the priests and people in authority. Let's see. I can't even think of nothing off the top of my head. Uh, what was I reading earlier?
I would say this because when you said that, I'm talking about Abraham and how he had Abram. He had cut the covenant with the Most High, and we know how the covenants were made. You know, there was a sacrifice. There was the animal cut in half, and the sinews and the blood, all the stuff in the middle, and then in a ceremony that you find over in the part of the world in the Hebraic culture, not just the Israelite culture, in the Levant region, you'll find that when people cut covenants, there's usually some kind of sacrifice and there's agreement on both sides, and it's a blood covenant that binds both parties together, where this bond is even stronger than the bonds of relationship with family, friends, loved ones. When you have a covenant with somebody, it is to the death. Now, here's the reason I'm gonna say why we should not keep that, because Israel is in rebellion. We do not keep the covenant in general. So we're already in violation of the covenant, because when you do honor killings, it is based on the fact that you are keeping your part of the covenant, and the other party is not. I guess I'm talking about two things at one time here. But in that, an honor killing is only, for one, the only way an honor killing would be honorable is if the covenant was being kept and somebody, one party broke the agreement. If anybody has the right to do honor killings, it would be Most High. Because those of us who wander here on this earth, we are in transgression of the covenant. So so we're going to hold somebody to a standard we don't keep. We are violating the covenant, and because of that, we should be killed as well.
Almost like
I hope I made sense there, because once I started thinking, I said, "Oh, that's two levels of thinking there." But just dealing on the horizontal, the lateral level we live, I would say no, because we have broken the covenant. We have went renegade. We are just coming back into understanding who we are. And even as we sit here, amongst all of us sitting here on this call, 6, 7 of us, we are still relearning the instructions. We're still learning how to fall back in line with law, statutes, and commandments. So just based on that alone, since we have only partial information, we will be incorrect in trying to hold somebody under honor path and killing them because they broke the covenant. Because if that's the same logic, then we need to die right after.
Right.
Anybody quick to do the dying, though. We want to kill, but nobody want to do the dying.
Let me give you this, Rodney. Let me come from this angle. Okay, now we were talking about, us, but what about those in different parts of the world who have been keeping their laws?
Well, that's a system outside of ours. So if they,
that's what, yeah.
Well, then in that case, even in that, because we understand a lot of these people, not everybody, but a lot of people are Hebrews. They're not Israelites, they're Hebrews. So you see in some of these cultures where you see this stuff going on, they were children, descendants of Abraham. So they do have some understanding of things going on, but they're not keeping. They fall outside the instructions. So this is just Rodney talking on this point right here. I would say, just thinking on that, I guess it depends on the context. Are they whatever their covenant is this righteous and lawful inside the system that they follow? And the person who's executing this judgment, are you in right standing in order to be doing it?
Right. Yeah, I think that too. Like it comes back to that question: what do they believe is righteous judgment? Because like in our law, you have to have 2 or more witnesses. You can't just go out and kill nobody. You got to have like certain proofs, evidences, like what is their righteous judgment? Is it because they just believe in who they believe in, and he just says kill the unbelievers? Now that's what they were wrong with when he tells us to kill the unbelievers. Well, first of all, how do you know they unbelieve or don't believe? Oh, they're not saying his name, or they're not okay. What else? Is it just that? You know, that's what I see most of the time is just that. Like they're not calling on they're not calling on Allah, or they don't worship like they worship.
I guess the reason I brought the question, you know what I'm saying, to the table because I had this conversation with somebody today, and you know, come to find out, you know, I had to do a little digging. I said, "Are you Torah only?" Because they believe in honor killing.
Right.
And they said, yes. I said, oh, so you still operating under the order of Aaron? I said, we're under the order of Melchizedek. So that's why we have
more ancient than the order of Aaron. But that's a different story.
Yeah. So we have two different, you know what I'm saying, understandings. So I said, well, if that's the case, then you know every time you get into an argument or your child does something wrong, you know, and it's egregious, you should knock off that child.
Yeah, I mean, throw a rock party. Oh, what? You didn't clean up your room? Hey, let's get the rocks together. Let's call my homies. I need some help stoning this kid.
Right. But you know darn well they ain't gonna do that. That's why I say a lot of, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of it's just hot air.
Because it sounds good to say, but
right.
I just like what you said there. Okay, let's flip that around. Okay, you believe in keeping that, right? Yeah, yes, right. I'm about that life. Okay, so when you do something wrong, we can throw you a rock party. You have absolutely no problem with, right? I get the scimitar and cut your head off. You good with this?
Right.
Yeah, ain't nobody too quick to do that one. And no. They want to
be. But then too, I have this question. What is it that's in everybody's lexicon of what an honor killing is? Well,
okay. I like that. I like that.
See, it's this. Right. What do you mean when you say honor killing? Because also remember in Jubilees 30.
Talks about yesterday, man. I just got through reading Jubilees yesterday. I just finished it.
Yeah.
Oh, you finished Jubilees?
Chapter 30.
Oh yeah, man. I just read chapter 50, 51 yesterday. I ended it yesterday.
Right. All praises.
No, that's right. Then
on 30.
There was an honor killing that took place. It was of the Shechemites.
Yeah.
And that was because they had violated Yaakov's 12-year-old daughter.
Yep. Dinah.
Yeah. The thing is, would that be considered an honor killing?
Let's read.
Huh?
I said I'm gonna pull it up. I remember part of the answer, but I'm gonna read.
Yeah, because thing is,
what did the Most High call what they did?
Well,
I think it's actually a law that says that.
First of all, the Most High says that honored Lewi and Shimei for it, and in fact, Lewi was chosen for the priesthood.
Mm-hmm.
That he would execute, and I quote, righteousness and judgment and vengeance.
In verse 6 of chapter 31, I'm looking at another place I'm looking for, but I like what it says right here. I'm just reading this. It says, in this language, it says, the Lord delivered them into the hands of the sons of Jacob, that they might exterminate them with the sword, execute judgment upon them, that it might not be again done in the land of Israel, that a virgin of Israel should be defiled.
Right. Then look at verse 18 real quick.
That's where I was going. Well, not there. I wasn't going there yet. I was going to verse 17. For this cause I have commanded thee, saying, testify the testimony of Israel, see how the Shechemites fared in their sons and how they were delivered into the hands of the two sons of Jacob, and they slew them under tortures, and it was reckoned to them for righteousness, and it is written down to them for righteousness. And the seed of Levi, or Levi, was chosen for the priesthood and to be Levites, that they might minister before the Lord as we continually, and that Levi and his sons may be blessed forever. For he was zealous to execute righteousness and judgment and vengeance on all those who arose against Israel. So they inscribed as a testimony in his favor on the heavenly tablets. I ain't deal with the heavenly tablets. That's all way off right there. That's my thing. Blessing and righteousness for the God of all. So I just want to say this one thing. I'm gonna be quiet because I like learning from the teacher there. Now, one thing I would say is I was taught. I'm not sure how you all were taught. I was taught one of the reasons the Levites, the Levi did not receive any land was it was a punishment to them because of this act that they had committed against the Shechemites for slaughtering the people. But that's not the case at all.
Actually, that was in. It's still in. I believe it's right there in that chapter that Yaakov disagreed with what they did.
Yeah, why you mess with them folks? Why you over mess with them folks?
Right.
Yeah, because he basically said, you gonna cause me to lose my peace with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With the Canaanites. But the thing is that this is the key right here. The Most High never punished Simon and Levi. Because you remember, in the next chapters, they went to war with a lot of other tribes.
Yeah.
And what did they do? They prayed before they went into battle, and they consistently won.
You said one guy he can take care of 1,000 by himself. That's crazy.
Right.
I can yell and create, make earthquakes. It's just. Remember they told Joseph when they didn't know who he was, and he was talking about, "No, I'm keeping your brother." They were like, "Look, man, you don't want to mess with us. You don't want none of this. You don't want we'll bring hell down on this place. You don't want this."
Right. Judah could leap over 20-foot walls. Why do you want to mess with somebody like that?
Look, Issachar running like his name is Barry Allen. He's the fastest man alive. He runs quick.
Gad. Yeah.
Right.
And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just gonna go down this quick rabbit hole for a second. It's just my thought. How could Joseph push these boys and he know who they are? My man was on one. He was like, "No, you ain't gonna do nothing." He just kept pushing their buttons. He took it to the limit. He was like, "No," and he started calling the guards of Egypt. I'm like, "Why are you doing this?" It got so bad that Pharaoh was like, "Yo, you wilding over there. You need to stop. What are you doing?"
But check this out. Another lesson that we must understand with the whole reason why they did that to Joseph. Remember, they threw him in the pit?
Yeah.
Threw him in the hole. Why did they do that in the first place? Because Joseph had those dreams.
Yeah, he run around talking about them.
But at the same time, Joseph was bragging on himself. And Yaakov was really committing favoritism. You know what I'm saying? Joseph was the favorite out of all the brothers.
Right.
So the brothers naturally got jealous and envious. And they're like, you the golden child.
Nice coat and everything.
Yeah, you all this? Okay.
But the daddy got mad when he said he's gonna bow down to him too. The daddy got mad. He said, "Oh, I'm not gonna bow down."
Yeah, but Yakub had to even check Joseph because he saw how it was starting to grieve the other brothers, and he had to check Joseph like, "No, you ain't all that." You know what I'm saying? He had to kind of quell the fire, so to speak, and so he had to chastise Joseph. But I, you know what I'm saying? I got that out of that. That you know what? You got to be careful with your children. Don't put one on top of the other as far as on the pedestal. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I got out of that, reading how Jacob really stirred the pot, so to speak. You know what I'm saying, on that. But yeah, Joseph, he was kind of, braggadocious on himself.
I wanted to.
I mean, think about it. Wouldn't you be your daddy make you a coat? He got you out here. You're gonna be full of yourself. You're gonna be talking that smack a little bit,
right?
But I was done it to Yasser. He was just more humble. He told, "This is my only begotten." His many sons, but he's the only begotten. So he was put out there to be that number one.
I wanted to bring up Genesis 49, verse 5 through 7, though. It was saying, Simeon and Levi are brothers. They use their weapons to commit violence. I will not join in their secret talks, nor will I take part in their meetings, for they killed people in anger, and they crippled bulls for sport. A curse be on their anger, because it is so fierce, and on their fury, because it is so cruel. I will scatter them throughout the land of Israel. I will disperse them among its people. And my thought about it was, isn't it a law that states that if a person was to go and sleep with a person, they were supposed to marry him, not necessarily kill him all the time, right?
Well, if she does it in Deuteronomy 22, that's if a woman is betrothed to to another man, she's a virgin, she's betrothed to another man. But also check this: if a man tries to rape her, and she doesn't cry out,
right?
You know what I'm saying, and screams, then that man has to marry her. If she doesn't scream, it was almost like an agreement. If she doesn't scream, that means that she must have wanted it.
All right. Did she scream?
But if she screams in the field, then that means that was, you know what I'm saying, assault.
Gotcha.
And that man would be stoned to death.
Mm-hmm. I want to read this. I'm just back to be quiet.
Where you at, Rodney? Where you at?
Actually, I'm reading out the testaments of the 12 patriarchs.
Okay.
Reading out the testament of Levi, and I'm looking at verse 5. Now, if you're not familiar with it, all of these 12 these 12 entries, this book is based on the sons of Yaakov at the times of their death, recounting their lives. They gathered their families to them, and they recounted their lives, they told stories about themselves, and they spoke proclamations over their people. You can find pretty much most of the stuff they're talking about inside the Bible. But this is what I'm reading here, and it's just pertaining to what we're talking about. I'm skipping down to verse 5 when I'm looking at it. You can find it in a few places. One place that's easy to get to is like earlychristianwritings.com. Nobody call it that, but that's a place you can go for it. But the Sephadia and a few other places, it's not hard to find. It says, and I thereupon the angel opened to me the gates of heaven, and I saw the holy temple, and upon a throne of glory the Most High. He said to me, Levi, I have given thee the blessing until I come into sojourn in the midst of Israel. until I come into sojourn in the midst of Israel. Then the angel brought me down to the earth. He gave me a shield and a sword. And he said to me, execute vengeance on Shechem because of Dinah, thy daughter. And I will be with thee because the Lord has sent me. And I destroyed at that time the sons of Hamor, as it is written in the heavenly tablets. And I said to him, I pray thee, O Lord, tell me thy name, that I may call upon thee in a day of tribulation. And he said, I am the angel who interceded for the nation of Israel, that they may not be smitten utterly. For every evil spirit attacking, and after these things I awakened and blessed the Most High, and the angel who interceded for the nation of Israel and for all the righteous. I'm only bringing this up. I do read some books like this. You know, they don't replace the text itself, but I'm finding you keep looking around, you start to see more. It gives you more context to what the Bible is saying. Looking right here, we see that, and this goes back to what you're saying, James. What you said there is one thing that's been consistent is that Jacob was cursing them for what they did. The Most High did not. He was upset because remember he's still hot about them causing these problems. And he was and if you look at that's a theme in his life, he was always concerned about somebody getting at him, paying him back. Whether it's Esau, Laban, just keep on going down the line. Just different people like the Shechemites here. He was always concerned that something was going to come. Somebody was going to cause him to not be at peace. Somebody was going to come to try to destroy him. Somebody was going to cause him some pain. And I just see that theme being played out. And yes, he did pronounce that right there in Genesis 49. Absolutely.
Can I ask you this?
I don't see, if I'm missing something, please somebody point it out. But I don't see where the Most High was cursing him for what he did.
Can I ask you this though?
Yes.
When our patriarchs set a curse on their children, did they not come to pass? Did Yahweh answer it? Because down this chapter still, in 49, in verse 8, it still says, Judah, your brothers will praise you. So, is it going to happen? We have to totally reject that too. If this curse is not being played out by the Most High too, it's like he maybe he rejects it and then he lets it go because it came out his mouth. That could be an issue. That could be the problem, the thing too. But that's how I had to bring forth too, because they.
That makes sense.
No,
the only thing I can say that I would just say that is that there's a difference between what I curse and what the Most High calls.
Definitely, yeah.
Because that's like if I'm a private and a sergeant gives me an order, but a captain gives me an order, who do I listen to?
Right.
That part. Who is going to carry the weight in that situation?
Yeah.
Right. And like I said, if they would have been cursed by the Most High, they would have lost those battles that they went into. You know what I'm saying? So that tells you right there that he's still blessed them though, nevertheless. But they won every battle to the point to where they was getting ready to go whoop somebody else. And they was like, no, y'all beat everybody else. We good.
Let's just cut the deal right here. We're gonna pay some tribute. We're gonna make this right, because
we're gonna give you all the gold. Yahweh let them know though, because like he let Joshua know when that family took that gold and then statues and buried them under his tent. And Joshua was like, what's happening? We supposed to win this war. and God told him, he said, you gonna take somebody in their camp, they was disobedient. They got to take back into the camp. Now that's a curse. When you put a whole plague on the nation of Israel, just because of one family. You see what I'm saying? So, we got curses all throughout the Bible that, we
read about. But in that certain situation, like Rodney said, Jacob was just worried about himself, his peace.
Yeah, he was getting a little older.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you really think about it, what if somebody raped your sister? How would you feel about it? And that's the way Simeon and Levi was looking at Jacob. Like, you gonna let this mug rape our sister, your daughter, and you ain't gonna do nothing about it?
And Jacob was older, so he was like,
you sure right.
Here? Okay.
You sure right. We don't worry about it. Yeah, we got this. You know what I'm saying?
Daddy, you sit here, man. You sit here. Go ahead and eat your meat. Do you, man? We're gonna go across the street and take care of this.
Exactly. Now, I don't know what Negro, no real man, wouldn't think like that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I had to just, you know what I'm saying? I'm on Simeon and Levi's side on this one. So I know I would have probably did the same thing. Because then you didn't even have enough decency to do my sister right. You just took her and raped her. And then look, check this out. You not even Israel. You Canaanites. That's a double insult. And then, then we turn around and then we make an agreement with you. Okay, if you take her, then you gotta circumcise all your men. All your men gotta be circumcised. And they,
I will say, just to put one in their column, he knew that, the Shechemites knew they were wrong. And the man was like, hey, want to marry her? I don't know. Look, I've seen plenty of 12-year-olds in my life, but I've never seen one that I had to have. I don't know what that's about. Look, I don't even like no 20-year-olds. That's just me. I'm not cut that. But so they were like, hey, we'll marry her, we'll make your people ours. I don't know what that was all about. But no, if it was my sister, I don't look, if it was a tribe of Rodney, I'd be right there with it. That's probably the bottom line.
But it was the way they did it, Rod. That's Homer and his son, it's the way they did it. You supposed to go to the father and give him a dowry.
Yeah, that's right. Get paid bride price.
Exactly. So it was the way they did it. Because Israel sometimes they did marry, other tribes. Other nations.
Oh yeah.
But now you just gonna take his daughter by force. So I think that was the biggest thing that.
Now with that, yeah, I do. Man, I'm not just for anything they did, but yeah, I totally agree with you. It's like they were like, okay, well, we're gonna try and make it right on the back end, but you were at the point of no return with that, because like you said, you violated all the customs for one. Mm-hmm. And never mind, she's a little girl. Let's not even deal with that part. You didn't follow any of the principles. You show yourself as not being a part of us. You don't keep the instructions. You do what you want to do, and you try to make it right on the back end. No, son, that don't work.
Then you made an agreement. Then you broke the agreement. When your people start, checking you, we don't circumcise our men. That ain't, that goes against our gods, our custom. How dare you make that agreement with the Israelites?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you right. No, we ain't gonna circumcise our men. Yeah, we gonna, you know what I'm saying? We gonna keep on doing what we've been doing. Okay. That's when Simeon and Levi went off. Did they thing. So, I mean, I it's just a, you know what I'm saying? It's just a story to let you know that, when it's times, like the scripture says, it's a time for everything, and it's a time to, and this goes back to the honor killings. I think
I was thinking, I said, we still on that subject. Yeah, I was thinking, I shouldn't say it.
Right. It goes to that because that was really an honor killing when they killed that whole town up. You know what I'm saying? Based on a sister. You know what I'm saying?
As her brothers was to protect her. So they were honor bound to do what they had needed to be done.
Right. And
But
you
they
know
went
what?
beyond what their father was talking.
And Jacob punked out on that. He did. He truly did.
We still let this one go. No, we're not taking this L there.
Right. Right. Now let me go into another issue. Are we still? How do we know that the Most High still doesn't order certain people to kill some people today? That's a deep one, ain't it?
I'm gonna sit back and listen to some answers on this. I'm quiet now.
Yeah. Don't get quiet now.
You do order. That's why it happened. You know, it may be a double whammy. You know, this person may be, they both in that scene. One be the killer, and one be the one that takes the death. But then you also have what they call look like accident.
Okay.
You know, an accident happened with that death was called for a reason. There ain't no death that don't happen.
I was just checking on you.
By the order of God. No matter what it is, you know. You had a lot of
wine. Oh yeah, I'm good on it. I'm just waiting on that water. Check the ice to get cold.
Because it's disobedience.
Let's be done 15, 20 minutes. So,
you know, when you leave here, you know, it could be before your time, as Solomon
Oh,
said.
your car left off of there? Your car gone?
You know, it could be because you overly wicked.
Oh, your car left already, huh?
And not to cut you off, I'm sorry, Richard. I had to say this though. It was a movie based on that. This man was going around killing folks. And so the detectives, you know, they were trying to find out who this serial killer was and stuff. And, you know what I'm saying? They really tracked him down and everything. And come to find out, everybody he killed was a murderer or was doing something evil. You know what I'm saying? And he always said, it was God telling me to kill these people. So that's why I asked the question, you know what I'm saying? Because you hear people say all the time, well, God told me to kill him. He ordered me to kill him. You know what I'm saying? So how we know that's not the Most High?
I mean, people say that all the time. God told me to tell you this or prophesy this over your life. And it's like, man, they'll say anything, you know. How can you tell? It says in their fruits. You know, you gotta watch their fruits.
Right. But you know what I'm saying? We you know, we got people who say that, but it really be the devil, you know, telling them. But besides that, how can we not, you know, really determine who really is instructed by the Most High to kill somebody?
Yeah, like, first of all, they got to be an authority. You know, that'd be like the safer way to do it. You know. Plus, scripturally, yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, set up by the authorities. However that work. However that work. But you know, since we ain't got our own land, it's kind of hard to put ourselves in that position. You know, Deuteronomy 28 right now is, you know, we ain't in the land. So it's kind of hard to really make that type of move. But people still do, though. But actually, that's mostly in the eastern part of the world. They do that. You know, the Muslims over there, really, but we know they ain't about nothing.
Because I never forget, it was this man in this airport, and he was acting like he was on the phone. You might remember this, Rodney. This happened probably 20, 30 years ago. But he was in the airport, and he was on the phone. He was acting like he was on the phone. And the guards, the police officers, was escorting this pedophile who had killed his son. And they was escorting him through the airport, and right when, this pedophile passed this man who turned out to be the father, he turned around and blew his head off. Right there on the spot. You don't remember that, Rodney? It was on national news.
Wow.
It was years ago. It was
I'm
years
just letting y'all know, I didn't eat earlier, so I got my dinner right here. So.
Oh, okay. I sure finna get on. But but yeah. So that's that. You know what I'm saying? That's a hard pill to swallow. You know what I'm saying? That's somewhat of an honor killer to me.
Because you understand the context. It's not like he was just some serial killer or mass murderer out here.
Right.
It had context. There's a reason for this.
Right. And the scripture, it says, it'd be better for you to put a millstone around your neck and cast yourself in the ocean, into the sea, than to hurt my little ones.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So how we know that's not righteous judgment? You know what I'm saying? Look, and I think, the jury didn't get him but like a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? I take that. So, I think that, not in every case, but I think some cases, the Most High, does instruct, people to kill other people for righteous reasons.